Ladies and gentlemen, success is not something that simply happens to a person. It is not a matter of luck, timing, or waiting for the perfect opportunity. No, success begins the moment you make a decision, a conscious choice to take control of your life and move forward with determination. That decision, simple as it may seem, is more powerful than any skill, resource, or advantage you might possess. It is the spark that ignites the fire of achievement. The moment you realize that your life is truly your responsibility is the moment your path to success begins. For too long, many people live their lives believing that their circumstances, their upbringing, their environment, or other people are the reasons they have not achieved what they desire. We tell ourselves stories like, "I couldn't succeed because I didn't have the right resources," or "I failed because others didn't support me," or "It's just not fair." But the harsh truth, and the empowering truth, is that while circumstances can influence us, they do not determine our destiny. Every step you take toward success starts with acknowledging that your life, your actions, and your results are ultimately your responsibility. Responsibility is not a burden. It is the key to freedom. When you blame others or your environment for where you are, you give away your power. You make yourself a victim of circumstances. But when you take responsibility, you reclaim control over your life. You understand that no matter what challenges you face, the decisions you make today and every day afterward will shape your future. Success is not something that happens to people. It happens because people choose to take action, make decisions, and own the consequences of those decisions. Responsibility is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Consider the people who have achieved greatness. One common trait among them is their willingness to take responsibility for their lives. They do not point fingers, make excuses, or wait for someone to rescue them. They recognize that every failure, every setback, and every disappointment carries a lesson, and they embrace it. When they fall, they do not blame the world. They ask themselves, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve? What can I do differently next time?" This is the mindset of responsibility, and it is the foundation of all achievement. Many people struggle because they confuse responsibility with blame or punishment. They think that being responsible means being harsh on themselves or carrying the weight of the world. But real responsibility is empowering. It means accepting that you are the captain of your ship. You may encounter storms, rough waters, and unexpected obstacles, but the course you chart, the choices you make, and the actions you take are entirely up to you. Once you embrace this, you no longer feel like a passenger in your own life. You become the driver, steering your path toward the success you desire. Taking responsibility also means recognizing that your thoughts, habits, and mindset shape your reality. It means understanding that procrastination, excuses, fear, and doubt are choices, and that choosing to act despite them is a powerful step toward achievement. Every successful person has faced fear. Every entrepreneur has faced uncertainty. Every athlete has faced failure. But the difference lies in who took responsibility and moved forward regardless. You cannot control every circumstance, but you can control your reaction to those circumstances. And it is this control, this willingness to take responsibility for your life, that separates those who achieve greatness from those who remain stuck. Responsibility extends beyond simply making choices. It is about taking ownership of your goals and your progress. It means not waiting for someone else to validate you or approve your decisions. It means understanding that your success is your own and that no one else will create it for you. Imagine a person waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for others to guide them, waiting for a chance to fall into place. Days, months, and even years can pass in this waiting period. But those who take responsibility do not wait. They act. They understand that imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. The decision to take responsibility transforms hesitation into momentum. Another essential part of taking responsibility is accountability. It is one thing to recognize that your life is in your hands. It is another to hold yourself accountable for your actions. Accountability means examining your choices honestly and being willing to accept the consequences, both good and bad. It means saying, "If I failed, it is because I did not do what was necessary. If I succeed, it is because I took deliberate action." This mindset eliminates excuses and fosters a strong sense of ownership. With accountability comes clarity, and with clarity comes direction. You begin to see exactly what you must do to move forward and achieve your goals. When you take responsibility, you also develop resilience. Life will inevitably throw challenges in your way: loss, setbacks, criticism, or unexpected events. Those who fail to take responsibility often see these challenges as reasons to give up. But those who embrace responsibility see challenges as opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined. Responsibility allows you to stop blaming circumstances and start learning from them. Every challenge becomes a teacher, every failure a lesson, and every obstacle a stepping stone. By taking responsibility, you convert setbacks into momentum and resistance into motivation. It is also important to recognize that taking responsibility is a daily practice. It is not a single decision you make once and forget. Every day you face choices, big and small, that shape your trajectory. Choosing to wake up early, to work on your skills, to push past comfort, and to stay focused on your goals are all acts of responsibility. Even in moments when the world seems unfair or circumstances appear overwhelming, responsibility reminds you that the power to act, to change, and to succeed resides within you. Taking responsibility requires courage. It is easier to blame others, to make excuses, or to wait for life to hand you what you want. But courage means standing up and saying, "I am responsible for my life. I will not wait for permission. I will not rely on luck. I will act, I will learn, and I will grow until I succeed." Courage and responsibility go hand in hand, because responsibility demands action even when the outcome is uncertain. Every step you take while owning your life builds confidence, strength, and self-belief, the very qualities that are essential for achieving success. The beauty of responsibility is that it puts you in control of your own destiny. You do not have to wait for circumstances to change. You do not have to hope for external factors to align. The moment you decide to take full responsibility for your life, you take the first step toward freedom. Freedom to create your own opportunities, to learn from your mistakes, and to forge your own path. Responsibility transforms life from a series of uncontrollable events into a journey of deliberate choices. It empowers you to rise above mediocrity, to overcome obstacles, and to achieve the success that others only dream about. So, remember this: success begins when you stop blaming and start acting. It begins the moment you recognize that your life, your choices, and your results are your responsibility. There is no magic, no lottery, no outside force that determines your destiny. It is entirely within your hands. Each decision you make, each habit you cultivate, and each action you take is an investment in your future. Taking responsibility is not just the first step toward success. It is the foundation upon which all achievement is built. Success is not a matter of luck, nor is it something that simply falls into the lap of a fortunate few. Too often we tell ourselves stories about people who just got lucky or had everything handed to them, but the truth is far different. Success is not an accident. It is not a random gift from the universe. True success begins with a mindset, a conscious decision to believe that you are capable, to act despite fear, and to take responsibility for the life you want. This is the first and most critical step, because without the right mindset, no amount of talent, education, or resources can carry you to your dreams. The moment you decide that success is possible for you, everything changes. A mindset is not merely thinking positively, it is an active choice to view challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, and obstacles as stepping stones. Consider the countless people throughout history who achieved remarkable things. They were not necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. What they had in common was the decision to refuse defeat, the decision to believe in their own potential even when everyone else doubted them. Success is the result of persistent belief in oneself and a refusal to be defeated by circumstances. It is the decision to take ownership of your life and act intentionally toward your goals. Many people wait for the right moment or for luck to favor them. They hope that circumstances will align perfectly before they begin, that someone will hand them an opportunity, or that a random stroke of fortune will change everything. But success does not wait. Opportunity rarely knocks. More often, it must be created. And creating opportunity begins with the decision to act. When you decide that you will succeed, you no longer depend on luck or external validation. You become proactive rather than reactive. You stop asking, "Will this work?" and start asking, "How can I make this work?" That shift in mindset is the foundation of all achievement. Think of the decision as planting a seed. The seed may seem small and insignificant at first, but with care, effort, and consistent action, it grows into a tree that can bear fruit for years. When you make the decision to succeed, you plant a seed in your mind, a belief in your own ability. But the seed alone is not enough. You must nurture it with action. Every step you take, every choice you make, reinforces that decision and turns it into tangible results. Success begins not in the outside world, but in the mind. And the moment you commit to it, the journey begins. Consider those who have faced failure yet achieved greatness. Thomas Edison famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't succeed because he was lucky. He succeeded because he decided that each failure was a lesson, not a reason to quit. He chose to adopt a mindset that saw potential where others saw defeat. That decision, to keep trying, to believe in the possibility of success despite repeated setbacks, is the very essence of what separates those who achieve from those who remain stagnant. Success is not a destination reserved for the lucky. It is a path carved by those who decide to walk it, no matter how difficult the terrain. It is important to recognize that mindset alone is not enough. It must be paired with intentional action. But even action begins with the decision. Before you can act consistently, you must first decide that you are committed to your goal. That commitment transforms your approach to life. You stop making excuses, you stop waiting for external approval, and you start taking ownership of every choice, every opportunity, and every challenge. The decision to succeed is empowering because it shifts control from circumstance to choice. You become the architect of your own life rather than a passenger carried along by chance. Many people underestimate the power of this decision. They say, "I will try," but trying implies uncertainty, hesitation, and a lack of commitment. Choosing to succeed is not trying, it is deciding. It is saying, "I will not let fear, failure, or doubt dictate my life. I will succeed no matter what it takes." Once that decision is made, your mind begins to seek solutions rather than problems, opportunities rather than obstacles. You begin to notice possibilities that were invisible before, and you are compelled to act. Decision is the catalyst that turns dreams into plans and plans into results. Another important aspect is self-belief. The decision to succeed requires faith in yourself, even when the world seems to oppose you. Every great accomplishment starts with belief. Without belief, effort is scattered, motivation falters, and progress slows. When you decide that success is your responsibility and your destiny, you cultivate a mindset that persists despite setbacks, that finds lessons in failure, and that sees every challenge as a chance to grow. The strength of your belief directly influences the magnitude of your success. So, let us understand clearly, success is not a matter of external circumstances. It is not a lottery that only a few win. Success begins the moment you decide to own your life, to believe in your ability, and to act intentionally toward your goals. It begins the moment you replace doubt with determination, hesitation with commitment, and fear with courage. That decision is the seed of all achievement, the invisible force that propels ordinary people toward extraordinary outcomes. Every moment you delay making that decision is a moment lost. Every day you wait for perfect conditions is a day your potential remains untapped. But the moment you choose success, the moment you decide that you are capable and worthy of achieving your dreams, the journey begins. It may be challenging, it may be uncertain, but it will be transformative. And it all begins with that one powerful choice, the decision to succeed. When we think about success, we often imagine it as the result of talent, preparation, or circumstances. We look at people who have achieved remarkable things and assume that their journey was effortless, that they were born with advantages, or that luck played the largest role in their accomplishments. But the truth is far simpler, yet far more profound. Every great achievement begins with a single moment of decisive action. It is not the plans we make, the dreams we hold, or the intentions we set that determine our success. It is the moment we stop thinking and start doing, the moment we move from indecision to action. Decisive action is a powerful force. It transforms ideas into reality, dreams into results, and potential into achievement. For years, many of us allow ourselves to be trapped in what I like to call the planning loop. We plan, We strategize, we analyze every detail, yet we fail to take the step that matters most, starting. There is a difference between thinking about success and choosing to pursue it actively. You can think about starting a business, improving your skills, or changing your life for decades, but unless you take that first decisive step, success will remain just an idea. It is the action, no matter how small or imperfect, that sets the wheels of progress in motion. Consider the stories of those who have shaped history. Every inventor, every entrepreneur, every leader, every artist, every athlete had a moment where they decided to act. Thomas Edison could have given up after his first failures, but instead, he chose to keep experimenting. Oprah Winfrey could have let rejection define her early career, but she made the decision to persist and pursue her vision. Elon Musk could have hesitated in the face of risk, but he acted decisively and turned his ideas into reality. In each case, the breakthrough did not come from waiting for perfect conditions, it came from the courage to act decisively at the right moment, even when uncertainty and fear were present. The power of decisive action lies in its ability to create momentum. Taking action generates results, no matter how small, and those results feed motivation, confidence, and clarity. Often, we overestimate the importance of planning and underestimate the importance of doing. The first step, however imperfect, is far more valuable than the 100th thought about what we should do. Momentum is born when we move, when we commit, and when we refuse to remain stagnant. Once the first action is taken, the path ahead becomes clearer, obstacles become manageable, and opportunities that were previously invisible reveal themselves. It is also important to recognize that decisive action requires courage. The fear of failure, judgment, or the unknown can paralyze us. Many people remain stuck because they overthink, because they wait for confidence to appear, or because they are afraid of making mistakes. But decisive action does not require perfection. It requires commitment. It requires the willingness to move forward, even when the outcome is uncertain. Every great achievement in history began with someone taking that risk, making that move, and refusing to let fear dictate their choices. Courage is the companion of decisive action, and together, they have the power to transform ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. Decisive action is not limited to grand gestures or massive risks. Often, it begins with small steps. The key is the decision to act consistently, to turn intention into motion. Consider a writer who decides to write one page a day, an entrepreneur who begins researching their business idea, or a student who starts dedicating time each day to learning a new skill. These may seem like small actions, but they are decisive steps that, when compounded over time, lead to extraordinary outcomes. Great achievements are rarely the result of a single moment. They are the product of repeated, purposeful action over time, beginning with the courage to start. Another aspect of decisive action is ownership. When you take action, you are taking responsibility for your results. You are no longer waiting for someone to give you permission, for circumstances to align, or for luck to intervene. You are actively shaping your destiny. Each decision to act, each step forward, reinforces your control over your life and your ability to create results. Success is not passive, it is earned through action. Waiting for the perfect moment is often an excuse, a way to avoid discomfort, risk, or effort. The moment of decisive action, however, is the moment you reclaim control and refuse to be a bystander in your own life. It is also worth noting that decisive action often requires prioritization. There are countless ideas, tasks, and options in our lives, and the decision to act involves choosing what matters most. You cannot pursue every opportunity simultaneously, but you can focus your energy and take deliberate steps toward your most important goals. Decisive action is about clarity, focus, and commitment. It is about understanding that progress is born from choices, and those choices must be acted upon without delay. When you act decisively, you create a chain reaction that propels you forward, opening doors that would have remained closed had you hesitated. Furthermore, decisive action fuels learning and growth. Many people fear action because they are afraid of failure. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Action produces feedback. It shows you what works, what doesn't, and what needs to be adjusted. Without action, learning is theoretical. With action, learning is real and immediate. Every step taken, whether successful or not, moves you closer to your goal because it provides clarity, insight, and experience. Decisive action transforms uncertainty into knowledge, fear into confidence, and potential into achievement. The beauty of decisive action is that it is contagious. Once you take a step toward your goals, you inspire others to act, you attract opportunities, and you create a momentum that cannot be stopped easily. Action generates energy, confidence, and results, and this energy propels you forward. Waiting, overthinking, and hesitation, on the other hand, drain energy and create stagnation. Those who achieve greatness understand this principle. They act, they learn, they adjust, and they continue to move forward. Action is the engine that drives achievement, and the moment of decision is the ignition that starts it. So, consider this truth: no matter how talented, prepared, or intelligent you are, nothing will happen until you take action. Ideas, dreams, and intentions are meaningless without movement. The moment you decide to act, the moment you commit to doing rather than thinking or planning indefinitely, is the moment your potential begins to unfold. This is why every great achievement starts with decisive action: the courage to move forward when others hesitate, the clarity to make a choice, and the commitment to follow through no matter the obstacles. Remember, the first step is often the hardest, but it is also the most powerful. It is the step that transforms a dream into a plan into results, and results into success. Every extraordinary accomplishment you admire in others began with someone saying, "I will act, I will not wait, I will start now." That single moment, that decision to move forward, is the foundation of all achievement. Success is not a distant, unreachable goal. It is the outcome of action taken consistently, courageously, and decisively. Every great journey begins with that one choice, that one step, that one moment when intention meets action,